Hi, welcome to MS Creations. Yes, we can. We talk fearlessly. The Indian Ministry of Home Affairs placed George Soros' Open Society Foundations and Open Society Institute on a prior permission list. That means that if they wished to make a donation to an Indian NGO or firm, they would have to seek the permission from Ministry of Home Affairs India. Why these things matter today? And who is George Soros?
George Soros, Hungarian born American financier, self proclaimed philanthropist, and an activist too. He's a legendary hedge fund manager who is widely considered one of the most successful investors of all time. Whose success as an investor made him one of the wealthiest men in the world.
Since we are talking about Soros, it is important to know how he made billions through hedge funds. So, what is hedge fund?
Hedge funds pool money from investors and invest in securities or other type of investments with the goal of getting positive returns. How does hedge fund works? Let's say there are 3 investors and one hedge fund manager. The hedge fund manager pools money from investors and invests in different areas. Usually the portfolios are aggressive in nature and for his investment he achieves the specified returns. The amount goes back to the investors along with profit, and for his work he will receive the commissions. Soros believed to be worth more than $8 billion and he donated more than $30 billion to various NGOs through Open Society Foundation.
The Open Society Foundation.
The Open Society Foundation, which is founded by George Soros. These are the world's largest private founder of an independent group working for justice, democratic governance, and various human rights activities. But the reality is connection with the different NGOs of the world and its foundation base is really alarming.
The Black Wednesday. In 1992, Soros shorted the British pound and reportedly made a profit of $1 billion US. He sold billions of sterling pounds during the days preceding the British government devaluing the pound in September that year. Afterwards, Soros bought back pounds, repaid the money he had borrowed, and he became known as the man who broke the Bank of England. For this reason, 16th September 1992, known as Black Wednesday in UK.
How Soros directly or indirectly connect to India. George Soros had a special connection with Nehru, a Hungarian Jew who was wife of Indira Gandhi's one of cousin B.K. Nehru. Thus, he has special connection with Nehru Gandhi family. Harshvardhan, a closely associated with Open Society Foundation, led by George Soros. He also appointed as a member of National Advisory Committee by the committee president Sonia Gandhi in 2010. Amrit Singh, daughter of ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. She works as a human rights lawyer with Open Society. Recently organized Bharat Jodo Yatra, George Soros NGO Vice President Salil Shetty, he walked with ex-Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. These are the people who closely associated with OSF NGO led by George Soros. This shows how Soros and his gang deeply rooted in India.
India chapter. Soros' India chapter starts way before 2014, but he became famous here after the abolition of Article 370A, special status to Kashmir. Interestingly, After the removal of Article 370, many notable events happened one after the other. Before discussing the event, I would like to make a request that please do subscribe and share the video with your family and friends, because your one valuable subscription and share make us motivate to do more interesting contents.
On 22 September 2019, PM Modi traveled to Houston and attended Howdy Modi event and mentioned about abolition of Article 370 in front of people and various US dignitaries, including then President Donald Trump. On 23 September 2019, Soros and his team met Pakistan PM Imran Khan in New York and discussed about Kashmir and various issues.
On 27 September 2019, UN Assembly, Pakistan PM Imran Khan again raised the Kashmir issue and split venom against our Indian army soldiers.
Right after a month on 31st October 2019, Rajya Sabha passed Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019, which is a provision to provide Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh as a separate two new Indian territories. And the same day, George Soros published his book in defense of open society to protect his NGOs in India.
On 24th Jan 2020, Soros gave speech at the World Economic Forum at Davos. There he hits out PM Modi and pledges of $1 billion to fight against nationalism and nationalism. He also criticized CAA and raised Kashmir issue.
Ironically, the very next day, JNU student activist Sharjeel Imam's video broke out, where he radicalizes his supporters to block Assam highway at the chicken neck of India to cut connection between northeastern states with India.
On 27 Jan 2020, ED finds financial link between PFI and the anti-CAA. ED also found the transaction of 77 lakhs and 4 lakhs to Kapil Sibal and Indira Jaising respectively. The notable point here is Indira Jaising is the top player to get a donations from NGOs of George Soros, whereas Kapil Sibal, who was the lawyer of Tista Sitarwa, who was a co-petitioner in the Gujarat riots of 2002 against Narendra Modi.
Adani Hindenburg Rowe and George Soros. On January 24, 2023, a US-based investment research firm named Hindenburg Research, which published a report on Adani Group, and exactly after 2 days, when stock market opened, total stock market shakedown. Adani Group lost more than 12 lakh crore rupees that day. It was definitely a big effect on Indian economy.
Modi and business tycoon Adani are close allies. Their fate is intertwined.
On 16 Feb 2023, in Munich conference, George Soros venomed Modi against Hindenburg report of Adani, and he says that
Modi is silent on the subject, but he will have to answer questions from foreign investors and in Parliament.
Gautam Adani is a business empire may weaken the Prime Minister Modi's hold on government. This definitely a question. Was Soros behind Hindenburg report?
People like Soros always find a way to target elected governments around the world because they think their views should determine how the world works. George Soros is an old, rich, opinionated, as well as dangerous. And this statement is not mine. Our External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, made the statement during his Australia visit.
Is a old, rich, opinionated person sitting in New York who still thinks that his views should determine how the entire world works. Now, if I could only stop at old, rich and opinionated, I would put it away. but he is old, rich, opinionated, and dangerous.
I hope you like the content. If you like, don't forget to click the like button, since your one like spread this truth further. We always speak with proof because it makes a difference to tell you the truth.